Hi there everyone, Life DIY Josie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Thrifty Thursday, when I do a throwback of one low budget idea every Thursday. Here's a compilation of under the sink organizers, ideas and hacks. For this, you will be needing two risers. They're also called cabinet shelf. You will also need two rectangular wire baskets from the Dollar Tree, a skinny rectangular wire basket. So this has the same length as this one. Some zip ties, a pair of scissors to cut the excess zip ties. If you do not have a pair of scissors, you probably have a nail clipper. You can use that as well to cut the zip ties. Actually, sometimes the nail clipper is better because it can really cut towards the end and you do not have to worry about the excess sticking out that is sharp, because you can also use the nail filer to dull the end of the zip ties after you cut them, because it becomes sharp and you don't want to have a cut. So let's get started. I am going to be putting one of the two risers. One will be positioned upside down and the other one is right side up, and I'm going to be putting one that is standing right side up on top of the one that is upside down. And then I'm going to be connecting the legs together with zip ties. I will be using a total of 8 zip ties because I will be connecting the ones at the bottom and the ones at the top. So total of 8 zip ties. Just make sure that it's laying flat. You're working on a flat surface. I will focus this closely so you can see, and we have some friends here who have vision impairment, so we have to also make sure that we cater to their needs. So once you hear it makes a sound, that means you are the right side. If you don't hear that, that means you're wrong side and you have to use the right side. So just tie it up here. Now tie it loosely first and then move it down to the bottom part here, and then just tie it. Okay, and then you'll do the same thing with this one here. I will be repeating this in all the corners. You can do it on top first and then you slide it down and then you tighten it. Okay, and then before you cut, just make sure you put the connections already on the legs. So I will repeat on all 4 corners, tying up the upper portions as well with the zip ties. And this is when the rubber sole is really helpful because it will stop it. Because even if this has a corner, this is half an inch higher than the one at the bottom. So that rubber sole will stop it from sliding. It keeps it in place. Same thing here. And again, I'm repeating it on all 4 sides. Let's use a nail clipper. Hopefully this is sharp enough. I usually use a sharp pair of scissors, but I'd like to also use nail clippers. I will put this, kind of like maneuver it or manipulate it so that it's aligned and it's not like this, okay, that it's next to each other. This one is behind the other one. And then that's where I'll tighten it, and I will turn also the ends here. Not after I cut, but before I make the cut. See? It's easier, and I don't even need to file it because it's smoother. And if it's still sharp, you can use the filer to dull it. And what I've done in some of my projects, I even used the hot glue from the hot glue gun, and to just seal that off. It does double duty. It also secures the zip ties as well as protect you from those cuts. And then again, align it. Okay, and then I'll just do the rest. Here we go. So clean, no need to file. and it is secured. The next thing that we need to do is put this on top. Now, before I put it on top and secure it, because what I'm going to do here, this is let me show you why I needed two on the top. There's enough real estate for another one, for the narrow one, right? And what I like about this, it will allow me to also kind of divide the things. So it will act as a divider for the things. So I can put some stuff here and some stuff here so that they'll be neater. They're organizers to keep you organized, right? But before I do that, I have to make sure that I attach them together first. There's going to be a space here. This is not really straight. There's an angle, if you noticed. Here we go. Okay, you could see there's going to be a gap. So you cannot really attach them using the side grills. You would have to attach them from where they will align. And again, they won't align here because they have an angle. So right now, I'm just going to attach them together. If you want to save up on your resources, I wouldn't suggest zipping it into all the holes, okay, or the slots. What you can do is maybe do one in the middle and one on each end, so that possibility of it sliding in and out will be lesser. But again, with what I'm going to do later, you won't really need three if you don't want to. And I'm putting the other one here, not necessarily towards the end. So I'm just going to keep it here on the second slot. And then the other one here, another one on the second slot here. So that will save you some materials. It's going to be harder to cut from there. So I would cut from here and then I will turn it around. So cut them first. I made sure to tighten them. Right. Okay. Now you can roll it to where it's gonna show under, so that if you're reaching for something, you won't get cut, because these are still sharp. It may be a little struggle because I tighten it. Okay, now it became one piece that is subdivided into two sections. One is the narrower and one is the wider one. So now this is the last of the connections that we're gonna make. You must put this in place here and align it to where you can tie it up. So because this has a couple of these edges and this also aligns to the edge, I would suggest just using maybe one zip tie on one end and another one on the other end. Make sure that you are also doing it evenly. So to know that for sure, you do it on the side. So what you're gonna do is you tie them up where you will see them aligned first. So you can actually touch this corner one here and this one that will intersect. So this is the corner and this is the X. Okay, first one here in the corner, and then you align it, and then you make sure that you also capture it in the X here, and it is diagonal. Okay, so that way your zip ties is not gonna slide back and forth. And it's now captured here. You see? When it's captured like this, it's locked. See? And I'll do that again on the other one. So here, see? This is the corner and that's the X. We call it the X. So then you zip it there. Right, and then here again on the other side we'll do it again, and then here we'll capture it. See? See? Now it's locked. Same thing here on the other side. Here it is. And that's that. Okay, tighten it as much as you can. Now I'm gonna go cut them again with my nail clipper. There we go. Okay, so there are no more connections needed here. There's going to be another one of those that I like doing. It's like a drawer type style of organization. It's the last piece, and that's the bottom. For smoother gliding, let's put the round sponges here, and then the pink stuff, dishwashing sponges here. And then I have this pumice for the bottom of my pots or pans. If there are stubborn stains, this is what I use. This is it for the bottom drawer. So let me just glide it in. There we go. Yep. So this is where the brush with the long handle will go. It fits just perfectly. It's like it was meant to be, right? And then depending on if I have clearance enough to put it, if it's not too low, then I can fit this. I'll check. And then these are the rubber gloves for dishwashing and cleaning. So let's put that there now. And this is where I store or organize my washing tools and cleansers. Okay, let's go ahead and use it. Okay, this is the moment of truth. See, I have enough clearance. Yay! This is just going to be going out. And then you can pull this out too, if you want. Okay? To get the cleanser out. See that? Yay! Have enough space. I love it. It's from Dollar Tree. And I can reach out for things. I still have enough room for my glass or window cleaner, and yeah, I love it a lot. Next, I am going to be using paper towel holders. I am just going to be connecting some baskets. So I am just going to be connecting the basket here in between the handles of the paper towel holders. If you notice, for durability, what I've done is that I inserted the handle of each of the paper towel holders through the handle on each side of the basket. And then I'm just using my wire cutter. You can also use sharp scissors to cut the excess zip ties. And to reinforce my connection, and also to make sure that nobody gets hurt, because once you cut your zip ties, there's a sharp edge. You can actually use a nail filer as well, or maybe some sandpaper. But what I find that is very effective is using dabs of hot glue, not only just to reinforce the connections, make sure it doesn't unravel, but also to offer some protection so that when you're pulling things or putting things in the basket, you're not going to get hurt because of the sharp edges of the zip ties. You can actually spray paint these zip ties, but like I said, if you're just going to put it underneath your sink, nobody will see it, so it shouldn't be an eyesore. It's going to be hidden. So I'm just reinforcing the top portion as well. As you can see, I'm tying the zip ties in diagonal so that it will lock it in place. Then again, putting some hot glue to cover those sharp edges and also keep the connection more secure. So here I am putting it all the way up to the top of the paper towel holders, and then that's where I tie my zip ties, 2 on each side. As you can see, it really anchors it well. And then cutting the excess zip ties again. And then I'm going to apply again some hot glue to ensure that I reinforce the connections as well as cover those sharp edges to prevent cuts. Now you can leave this as is. This is done as is, especially if you have narrower or tighter space under your sink. But I am also adding some kind of wings to the bottom side so that I can have more items to put there. So I decided to add this similar style but different size of baskets. So these are all from Dollar Tree, all these items here. and I'm just gonna show you what I did to connect them. I'm using the holes of the basket to connect them to the handle of the paper towel holder. So I have two baskets added, one on each side, and this is the rectangular. It's deeper than the ones that I placed earlier, and it's also longer but a little narrower to fit in the space. As you can see here, it'll just fit perfectly in place under the sink in my kitchen. And look at the pipes here. It's the perfect place to put it here. It's not obstructing, or the pipes are not going to hamper. And I'm just showing you here another idea. This is another basket from Dollar Tree. You can use this for bigger items. Now let me show you how I organize this system here that I just created. This is where I place a smaller basket that you can also get at Dollar Tree. That's where I place some brushes on the top, and just to corral things. But you don't have to put another basket, but I just have extra. So you can see there, I have in a plastic container there some of my dishwasher pods, and then some more cleaning tools or items there. And here is the magic eraser that you can also get at Dollar Tree. So I place it there. Now these are my kitchen gloves when I'm washing dishes, so I put it on top. And then I have the trash bags there at the bottom so that it can be used as a dispenser style. And then on the sides I have the cleanser, the Easy Off that I use for oven cleaning, also some pet powders and other cleaning materials. I placed all the tall and big or bulkier items in that big basket there. And this is a perfect organization, like I said, under the sink. So bonus tip for you, if you have this kind of like a magazine holder or rack, I got this at Daiso for $1.50, and I just used two command hooks to hang it, and this is where I place my plastic bags or the shopping bags. I'll have another video, by the way, because this cabinet has seen better days. As you can see, there are water stains there, and it's been decolorized already, so we're gonna repaint it. We just finished repainting our cabinet, so I'm gonna be showing you also that video in my upcoming upload. But for now, look at what it looks like. It's so organized. I just want to show you the before, and look at how messy. I even used the Dollar Tree bins as well, but they weren't working well, and this is the after. For the next one, I'll be showing you how I am going to be using this wire risers or shelf risers that I got also at Dollar Tree. So I am just going to connect two together, one right side up and the other one upside down. And for the purpose of visibility for our vision impaired viewers, I'm using a contrasting color here instead of using the standard white zip ties. So I'm using black for better visibility. And then I'm just going to be connecting it in this section. So the bottom part close to where the foot is, and will be connected to the top part of the other one, like so. So I'm just repeating it on all four corners, and then I'll be cutting the excess. Now, after I connect them, I'm going to be using it kind of like another organizer under the sink, and I'm placing this wire basket so that I can just pull it in and out. So for $3, you can leave it as is, and then you can just organize the bigger or taller items on the top, and then the smaller items at the bottom, or the shorter items, like so. Now I want to revamp this and make it really, really useful. So I'm creating a caddy. So I'm connecting two shower caddies, one on each side. So I'm using another contrasting color of zip ties, this time red so that you can see where I'm putting it, because if I use black, you won't be able to see it because I use black already on the two connections. And here I'm just connecting with this red zip ties and then cutting the excess. So you could see I am just putting those two caddies, one on each end or opposite side, like so. And here it is after I connected the other side as well. Now I'm just using some dowel rods. I got this at Walmart, but they do sell dowel rods also at Dollar Tree. But you can also use the dowels or wooden handle from a toilet plunger that they sell at Dollar Tree. And actually that's even thicker and probably more durable. So in order to fit my rods, I just kind of tighten the top of each of the shower caddies, and then to reinforce so that it doesn't slide down on each side, I added two zip ties. And then I added another one on each side to reinforce my connection. Here I just showed white because my backdrop is black, but hopefully you can see it here since the wood is kind of natural color and not white, so you could still see the zip ties here. So this is a closer inspection where I positioned the zip ties. So I just doubled up the dowel rods because I want it to be sturdier, stronger. So this is the caddy that you can use under the sink, and I like the fact that you can carry it, you can lift it up, and here's what it looks like when you are using it with two baskets, one at the bottom and one on top. And here's how it's set up under the sink. Next, for deeper cabinets under the sink, I am going to be connecting these two shelf risers together this way. So I'm just going to make it longer so that if you have a deep cabinet, you can put this and then you can place items on top. And I'm just going to show you a trick on how you can do that without hurting your back to pull things out of it. So, but first, connect the two together like so. I'm using here another contrasting zip ties. Again, I'm just showing this for demonstration purposes so you can see where I do the connections, and also for the benefit of our vision impaired viewers. So double knotting them, if you're winding them twice, or if you can pull off 3 winding, it'll be stronger actually. This is a smaller zip tie that they sell at Dollar Tree, but it will do the job. And then you can also reinforce the connection by applying some hot glue. So I am just going to be cutting the excess zip ties to make for a cleaner connection. Again, I could have probably made, instead of just double knots, I could have done 3. So this is what it looks like. Now it should look great already, or will function well, but for reinforcement, if I want to put something on top so that it doesn't wobble, I'm going to go ahead and use this box, this narrow or flat box, and then just cover it with contact paper so I can hot glue it there. So this one here has been covered with the contact paper from the Dollar Tree, and then this will offer a more solid top. So this is good for organizing on top of your table, on cabinets or countertop, but of course we're tackling the under the sink organization in this video. So what I'm doing here is to maximize the space. I have connected 2 more in the same manner, and then I'm gonna stack them up together and then tie them all up together like so. I know it's easier to show it to you than to explain, but this is how I'm gonna be connecting them together so that they will be taller. And to make it more secure, as you could see on this one here, I'm knotting it in a diagonal way, and then another one on a diagonal on the opposite side, creating an X. So I am going to do that also on the other connections on the opposite sides. This way it will not slide down. And again, the crisscross pattern will give it a better hold, but if you dab some glue there, either E6000 or hot glue, it will also prevent it from sliding down, especially if you put something heavy on the top. At this point, if you are liking this video so far, this collection, or this types of projects, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification bell icon so that you will get notified whenever I upload new videos. So like I said, you can reinforce these connections so that they won't slide down with hot glue, and also any commercial type or grade glue like this one here, an E6000, for a better, stronger hold. Now I'm just trimming the excess zip ties, and here's what it looks like after I place it. It's just the right size for under my sink. So what I've done with the baskets here, I'm connecting them together. As you can see, I have these two baskets so that if I pull them, I don't have to break my back. I can pull them together if I need something from the back, because they're connected with zip tie at the center, like so. Then I can pull it out and take out what I need. It makes it easier to grab the items that I need. So here I'm showing you at the bottom, I have more baskets, connected them with zip ties again. So this is a deeper one for the bottom. This is from Dollar Tree as well. And this is from Dollar Tree as well, because the second level here, or the middle part, is a little shallower. So I don't have enough headroom, so that one fits better. Now I'm just showing you here some other containers that I have that I could use. This is from Daiso with a flip top. And then at the back is a shoe organizer or container from Dollar Tree. So I can put other items there like alcohol, cleaning swabs. So this is under the sink in my bathroom. So I place some lotions there, acetone, and you can put shampoo there, any of your items or supplies. And for this other one, I'm placing my mask, but you can put anything there as well, any of your supplies. I'm just showing you that this one can hold a lot. Make sure that you again reinforce your connection with glue. I love this. This is very, very functional, and you can put a lot of things. It can hold a lot of things. Look at this. Even my tubes there, my lotion tubes, and then brushes. And the possibilities are endless. Anything that you can fit inside, if you have enough headroom for them, do so. Now, this is the before, this is what it looks like again after, but I'm gonna trim this so that you can also see if you do not have enough space for 4 pieces, then you can just use one on top of each other. So for smaller, tighter, under the sink space, you can just use, so just double them up, tie them this way. So I'm just showing you that this is expandable. You can reduce, you can add, depending on the space or amount of space you are working with that you need to address your organization. So again, I'm going to be tying up with this red zip ties here on this end, and then I will reinforce with hot glue or E6000 again so that it will not slide down, the one on the top. And then again, for tighter spaces, this would work well as well. So just use single bins or baskets at the bottom, and then that'll just work. Now for this one, I'm just going to show you how I organize my section. Like I said, I'm on the right side of our double sink. So this was a mess. and I'm just removing some of the items. And because of my bad back, I ended up just tossing things there using a basket or a bin that I got at Walmart. And there are some that are in Ziplocs, hoping that it'll be easier to reach out for them. Sometimes I use a grabber, and they sell them at Dollar Tree as well. But it's really hard. Look at me struggling underneath there. That's why it's also important to really figure out how the organization would work for you, for your needs. So for me, because of my age, I do have a bad back, and as much as possible, I hate bending. So only when I was cleaning this up did I bend. So this is what it looks like. I kind of want to check out how I stack things up together. So I'm just showing you some of the baskets from Dollar Tree and some bins. And that riser there, the green one, is from the 99 cents only store. So they have what you call a locker room riser, and it's very durable. So that's what I use there. So before you even organize anything, just make sure that the baskets or the locations are where they should be and more convenient for you. So like I said, because of my bad back, I try to organize my space in a way that it's not going to be hard for me. So I'm just giving you some pointers here, some extra bonus tips here. And that one at the bottom, that's from Ross. I think I purchased that for $12 years ago. And it's made of wire mesh, and it's a drawer system. And if you do not have the budget, because I know $12 sometimes is too expensive, especially if you like shopping at Dollar Tree like me. So you can do the other DIYs that I did in the beginning, where you can create your own drawer system. So here's another iteration. I use this Daiso basket with a handle. This one is $1.50. Daiso is a Japan dollar store. They have a lot of them here in California. And if you don't have Daiso, then you can find some similar bins from either Walmart or Dollar Tree. This one is from, I think, Walmart from years ago. I love this basket because it's so sturdy. And like I said, that riser there, it sits perfectly on top of that locker riser from the 99 cents only store. This one also is from Daiso, another container that I can use so that I can maneuver better. Now those two pink ones are the book bins or notebook bins from the Dollar Tree. You can find them at the school supplies section, and then below the curve of that pipe, I put in the one that I got at Daiso for $1.50. That is a magazine or a book holder as well, but you can use that for that purpose as well. As you can see here, I'm using some of the Dollar Tree skinny baskets to organize, and then other types of those white baskets that I'll be using to put in this bin here. This bin is from the 99 cents only store. I like that it's clear and it has a locking top. Now this is where I put my supplies. So as much as possible, I do not like pulling out things and then opening. So that's why sometimes I don't like the locking lid. But because this is for our supplies, then chances are I'm probably going to reach out for this whenever I'm replenishing our supplies. So that's okay. So then I put two more baskets on top from Dollar Tree. And this is where I'm organizing also my face mask, as well as other items that I need for my skincare or even my hair dyes, and also extra toothpaste, and also extra cotton swabs, as well as ear cotton swabs, and those cotton balls. Yeah. So this is how I arrange things. I don't mind mixing and matching colors, to be honest, like I said, because it's under the sink. Nobody's gonna really see them except me. I'm the one using this sink. Or if my daughter is gonna get some supplies there, that's fine. And it's easier to just describe it too. I will just say, okay, under my sink, there's a pink container there. Go find my creamer. there, so just give it to me or something, or get some more. So sometimes it's easier to kind of describe if you want people to navigate. Yep. So these are all the items. I suggest purging your items and only display the ones that you usually or would use on a daily basis in the bin closest to the door, like this one, my roll-on, even my healing for my ankle or my sole, because sometimes it dries up. And then I do have my facial cleansers, and again, like I said, the supplies. And then on the top I can just pull that basket, and this is when after I purge the items, and I'm just throwing them away and I'm putting them in the garbage. The next one that I'm going to tackle is underneath our kitchen sink, and this is a mess right now. So using these stackable bins, I am going to create an organization system that will work for this tight space, given that there are some obstacles like pipes and drainage. This heat tool, and this is a tool that I got at Michael's. They do sell this at any craft store. You can also buy something like this from Harbor Freight or even Lowe's or Home Depot. Just ask them if they have those type of heating tools. But again, if you don't have any use for it, you are okay to use your glue gun, especially since a lot of my subscribers are crafters. So if you don't have this type of tool, but this tool is a lot easier to use, not a whole lot of pressure. As you could see, it's so easy to create holes. The reason why I'm using it here, because I'll be creating more holes than what I've done on the first project. This will save me a lot of time and also effort or energy, because look at this, I don't even have to put too much pressure and the hole is created. Just a precaution, please make sure that you are working in a well ventilated area if you want to open your window, because there's some smell when you're burning also your plastic, so you don't want to get nauseated. So like I said, I'll be creating more holes aside from the 4 holes similar to what I created on my pantry organizer. For the under the sink, I'm also going to be connecting 2 bigger bins together. So I am going to be connecting them in this manner. So here in each corner, I'm going to be creating 2 holes kind of like adjacent to each other. Each of the 2 holes will be matching the 2 holes of the bottom of the other bin that I'm going to be connecting to it, so that they will be able to connect together. So those are my 8 holes. So again, there are 2 in each corner, positioned diagonally, lining up together. And again, I'm not putting any marker here. Feel free to do so if you want to make sure that they will align, but for me, I am just eyeballing my holes, just trying to make them as even or positioned in the same manner as close as possible, the same with the other bin, so that they will line up together. So I am going to be puncturing these holes on 3 stackable bins. So I finished one already. I'm working on my second one, and then I'm also going to work on my 3rd stackable bin. Now I'm going to start aligning them. I'm going to thread through the tip of my zip tie from the one that is on top, and then I am going to flip it over so that I can thread through to the other bin, like so, and then thread through again so that I will be back on the opposite side or the other bin where I started from. Now I'm just gonna connect this loosely. I'm not going to make it too tight, so that I will have some leverage, or I can adjust it if I need to later on. It'll be easier for me to finish off the other corners with this not being tight. So all of my connections, I will tighten them later. So it just gives me room for adjusting things by doing it this way. So I'm just going to repeat the same step on all of the other remaining holes. So again, starting from one of the holes on the top and then threading through the bottom hole that aligns to it, and then threading through again, and then reinserting. So it's just like you are sewing if you're hand sewing, and imagine this as your thread and your fingers the needle. So you're just inserting through the holes and then just connecting your zip ties that way. After connecting the last one, now I am going to tighten up all of the connections on all four corners. After securing and tightening each one, I am cutting the excess zip tie. Next, I am going to connect my third piece, which I am going to put on top, upside down, like so. And then I'm just going to connect the corners again with the zip tie. I've already punctured the holes, the 4 holes here. I'm tightening each connection again, and once that's done, I'm going to be trimming off or cutting the excess zip ties on each corner. Next, I am going to flip this over so that only the smooth part will show up on the top, not the ones with the excess or the bulky zip tie connection that has the sharp edges. If you notice, the one on the top will be where the smooth connections are. Now I'm just gonna connect another piece, a 4th piece on the top, so that this will be a double bin of sort. So here I'm just gonna show you a different method in a way of tying the zip ties, because I don't want that the sharp ends will be on the top. So what I'm gonna do is, after I connect each one, I am going to flip it down like this, turn it down like this, so that the sharp edge or the bulky ends will be at the bottom. This way, this will give it a better or cleaner finish. And then I am going to be tightening each connection. Let me just show you how it is. See here? This is the smoother part, so that'll be the top, and look at the bottom of this one. That's where the sharp ends are. So it's much better that way. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the excess zip ties again. So now you will see the sharp edges are hidden or underneath. So this will be my top portion here, and you can barely see the bulky ends of the zip ties. Voila! You want to do it sideways like this? I think it should work. So here I'm going to show you another variation. I'm going to put one upside down and the other one right side up. And then I'm gonna connect the two together, kind of like how I started with the double one. I'm cutting again the excess pieces of zip ties after I tighten each one. And then I'm going to leave it in this position for a bit because I'm going to connect another stackable bin on the top to align there. So like earlier, that's what I'm gonna do. Just connect all four corners together. Once done, again, cutting the excess zip ties. And I'll show you that after I cut the zip ties, you will probably wondering why I'm leaving the sharp edge at the top. Well, actually, because I am going to go ahead and flip it over later on after I'm done with my cut, so that the sharp edges will be facing downwards. But I want to show you first, see, this is the sharp edges, so that's not going to be my top. This is going to be my top. So this is another iteration. I'm not going to be adding a top on this one. This is just going to be for taller containers later on. So for the third setup, for my under the sink, I will be using the stackable bins in a default manner, just opening up those handles like so, flipping them open so that the other stackable bins can sit on top of each other. I will be stacking up 4 pieces together. I wouldn't need any zip ties or hot glue gun to keep them in place, so I'm just going to be utilizing them as such. So this is what the setup would be. Now it's time to fill them up. So here it is. It's looking a lot better and neater. I have the top portion of the container on the left side here. That's why I left it open. I didn't put another top so that the taller containers, the bulkier ones, would fit. And then underneath, I could still fit something a little taller. And then I even put my detergents here. No issues with the taller spray bottles as well. This fits perfectly. And then underneath I have another spray bottle here. It's a little smaller than the one on top, but it's still tall, that it will not just fit in just one stackable bin if I'm going to be using them as is. Now this middle part here where I just stack up the stackable bins as the default setup, I just put this one on top, my dishwasher pods, and then some of my sponges and also my wipes. Anything that is easier to fit there and then still have space for my hands. And then this is the garbage. This is where I'm going to put my garbage bags. I will still have space for new ones or refills. And then this one would be for my hand soap, and they come in taller bottles as well. So I'm glad that now I am able to fit them, and there's still room for more. As you can see at the back there, there's still room for more. And this is Mrs. Meyer's containers or hand soaps. They're not short, they're taller. So I'm glad that I'm able to create this bin so that they will just fit right into them. And then on top of it, I have this wipes. So I'm just putting the wipes there. These are the compostable kitchen wipes. And here's another way to save space. I did add another container, and what I did with a spray bottle, I just hung it on the side. I kind of adjusted the containers to move to the right so that I have enough space for that spray bottle. So that is kind of like just showing you how to maximize your space. So I still have space for that big bulky detergent that I added on the left there. Speaking of under the sink, this one is the setup that I am going to try to do for our under the bathroom sink. So this is utilizing the same types of bins. I ended up with 2 stacked on top of each other, and then there's one big one at the bottom. See, the top one will have the taller bottles, much taller than what can fit in the combo doubled up one. And this organizer is really perfect for under the sink. As you can see, there's enough room for this tube here, the plumbing, and there's enough headroom also for taller bottles. Like I said, I don't need to put a top on this one. I have the lotion there. We can put the taller shampoo bottles. Here are the flatter or shallower containers in the middle, and I can still reach them without bending too low. And then the ones at the bottom, I don't have to bend too low. I can just touch the tip of those bottles. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I'll see you again next week for another Thrifty Thursday. Bye!